to me, it's up to me. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day when I wake, there's a choice I can make to be glad or be sad, forgive or stay mad. It's all up to me. What I focus on will be in my life. And every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. And when clouds fill the sky, I know I'll get by. When I see all that's right, the dark turns to light. I give thanks and I say, this is my lucky day. I'm alive. And every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Oh yeah, I love it. I start my day saying, I love it. It's gonna be a good day, yeah. And I say, love it, yes I love it, yes I love it, love my life. Love it, yes I love it, yes I love it, love my life. Oh yeah, love it, yes I love it, yes I love it, love my life. Love it, yes I love it, yes I love it, love my life. And every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. I really love my life. Every day I say I love my life. Every day I wake up, I start my day by saying I love my life. Now every day I wake up and I say I love my life. Every day I wake up.
Good morning and welcome to Unity of the Hill Country in Kerrville, Texas, Sunday gathering. I'm Beverly Pryor and I'm the minister here at Unity of the Hill Country. And let's just take a moment now and get centered in prayer. We've got that lively message of I love my life. And we'll just take that into meditation. We close our eyes together and just take a deep breath in. And slowly release that breath. Just letting yourself drop into that knowingness, that truth of the most wonderful life that you have. It's your unique experience of this life that we share. And today we say, I love my life. And I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for the experience of being a human being in this moment, in this time, with the consciousness of the Christ taught to us by Jesus, our way shower. For this truth and so much more, and for this opportunity to be together today, virtually, online in this moment by Facebook or Zoom, or if you're watching later on YouTube or Facebook or on our website. We're in this moment together, regardless of that point in time. Our hearts and our minds are connected in gratitude and appreciation. We claim this time together for the highest and best of all concerned. And we simply say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. It does it every time. It starts the music when I try to advance the slide. Sorry about that. Our opening statement here at Unity of the Hill Country in Kerrville, Texas is there's only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God, the good, the omnipotent. We have some quick announcements for you today. First, last week we were fortunate to have a president's report to tell you about a few changes that were going on. And now we're reinstating our president's update that will follow each monthly board meeting. So I will stop sharing this slide and we will see our friend Jack and our president of the board, Jack Porter.
Hello, good morning. Is the sound coming through?
Yes, it is. Good morning.
Good morning. On November the 22nd, on November the 18th, last Wednesday, we had a board meeting. I want you to update you on the results of our meeting. I'm going to refer to my notes a little bit, so I'm looking down and reading. A little statement from the board. The members of the Board of Trustees continue to extend our gratitude and appreciation to you for your ongoing support during this difficult time of the coronavirus and its effect on social gatherings. And we had some changes that were approved for board members. These are President Jack Porter, Vice President Stu Walker, Treasurer Secretary Patsy Sherman, Trustee Danny Donovan, and Trustee Tina Thompson. Now, during the meeting, Patsy Sherman gave the treasurer's report, indicated a drop in monthly contributions for over the last few months due to not having live activities at the church. Dan was due to the coronavirus shutdown. Now, we did have a small business administration PPP loan and fundraisers that have assisted us in supplementing some losses and contributions, but we're still in the minus column each month. So a letter has gone out to everybody, to our community, explaining the actual income, expense versus 2020 budget. Everyone should have received our letter. If not, look for it in the mail. It's coming to you soon. I want to thank you for your continuing financial support of Unity of the Hill Country. The board also approved to continue our weekly Sunday gatherings on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook, and having outdoor events such as the Sound Journey and the Drum Circle. We continue to encourage practicing good CDC recommendations at the gatherings. Thank you so much for your time and blessings to all.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that report. And if anybody has any questions, any further questions or anything that you'd like clarification on, Jack is available. I'm available. Just give us a call and we'll be happy to explain. I think it's all pretty clear in the letter that Patsy and Jack put out this week. But if there's any further questions, we're a membership community. This community belongs to everyone. And so we believe in 100% complete transparency and we want you to have any questions and concerns addressed. And now we'll go back to our other announcements, and Jack touched on a couple of them with the outside events that are coming up on December 5th that you see here, the meditation and the drum circle. But also we want to remind you that we did send out an email with an application for assistance through the Angel Tree program. Jenny O'Quinn is chairing that and being supported on that team by Karen Clint. And so you have until December 2nd. If you are a member of our community or you have been a regular attendee or participating, then you are eligible to apply for Angel Tree assistance. We're also supporting, as we did last year, the Turner House Sober Living Community for Men. And so if you would like to donate, we're collecting donations and we're giving gift cards. So if you don't want to come by and get an angel, just go by HEB or Walmart or somewhere and pick up a gift card and just drop that by. If you do want to have an angel that has a little information, it won't tell you anything personal about anyone, but you can always come by Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2. And Mandy will be happy to pull some of those angels off the tree for you. We'd like to have all of them turned back in. I think it's November 28th through the 15th when the tags will be available. So after Thanksgiving, you can get the tag, but you can start dropping off gift cards if you just want to bring some by anytime during those usual office hours. And then when people have given their applications, then that will be reviewed, and then Jenny will be in touch with to get more information about the household for anyone who does need assistance. So it's the usual process, and we're happy to do it. And we just really like to give people an opportunity to give. We talked about giving in great detail last Sunday, and it's important for us and for our spirit to have places that we can give and opportunities to give of ourselves and our resources. And so I think that this is a sweet way to do that, and we appreciate all your participation. And so today, our special music is once again Harold Payne. Those of you who've been with us on a regular basis, you've probably seen Harold. He's been with us several times before. He is a prolific songwriter and a very creative performer, and has, I think both times he's been with us, has written a song during my talk, and no pressure, Harold, and performed it on the spot, which we just find exciting and, adds such dimension to the whole hour that we spend together. And if he sings one that he already wrote and he already knows, that's beautiful too, but he'll be performing in our usual 2 slots before the meditation and after the talk today. So I know you'll be excited to hear from Harold. Let's see. So you all know that prayer is the foundation of unity. I mean, everything we do is about prayer, and everything we teach is consciousness. It's the consciousness that every thought and every word is a prayer, and the power of every thought and every word is a prayer because it's creative and it goes out into the universe. And we pray affirmatively, knowing that when we pray, it is done. Ask because it's already been given. So in this moment, we'll pray together, but I want to remind you that you can always call Silent Unity. You can call me for prayer too. I love to pray. At the drop of a hat, I'll pray. But Silent Unity is praying 24 hours a day, 7 days a week over all prayer requests that are received. There's someone in the prayer vigil room with the prayer request. So when your prayer requests come to us locally, our prayer team prays over them, but they're also sent on to Unity Village, where that prayerful vibration is happening, that affirmative, that knowing that your prayer is being answered is going on 24 hours a day. And your prayer request specifically stays there for 30 days and gets that prayerful dynamic, prayerful energy. Here are the numbers for Silent Unity and where you can submit your prayer request, as well as on our own website. We've sent out a few prayer requests lately, specifically. Now, I put in there this week that, we never send out specifics on a prayer request unless we have permission to do that. So know that if you submit a prayer through our website, you can let us know it's okay to publicize that prayer, but we'll probably call and confirm with you for sure. But we want to make sure that you know that your prayers are sacred to us. And we're going to pray together right now, knowing that your prayers are being answered. And we're going to hold those people that we've prayed for this week in our prayer request in this moment, along with all the other prayers out there that we're not aware of, but we know that prayers are going out all the time because our heart is full of desire that's placed there by God. We are creative beings. We are a creation of that absolute good. So we're an integral part of that creation process. So let's just take a moment now. And if you haven't had an opportunity to submit a prayer, or you have something on your mind and your heart right now for yourself or for another, just send that right now. Just look at this little prayer box that we keep in our activity center, and just remember how we would always hold it every week and pray over the prayers that were submitted. And so let's close our eyes together and take a deep breath in. And we just release that breath, and we allow ourselves to return to that prayerful consciousness we began the day with. We take another deep breath together and release. The breath connects us mind, body, and spirit. And it also connects us one with another in this moment, in this prayerful consciousness, in this awareness, this knowing that as Jesus, our way shower, taught us thousands of years ago, it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. We know that when we pray, it is the consciousness from which we pray that makes all the difference. And we pray in this moment, claiming the absolute highest and best for every request, knowing that the answer is always coming back, yes, yes, yes. Whether that request is for health or well-being, finances, harmony in relationship, there's no degree of prayer. There's none too great or too small. Nothing too large, nothing too insignificant. We know that yes is always resounding in our favor at all times. For this truth and so much more, we simply say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. The mission and vision statement of Unity of the Hill Country is to live consciously, celebrating the divine potential in all. The divine is in all. It's the potential to become aware of that divinity within each one of us and everyone around us that we're celebrating, that we live consciously so that we can become aware of this truth. Oops, I'm pushing the wrong button. Sorry about that. And our daily word reader for today is going to be Miss Mandy Scott. And I want to acknowledge Mandy because the board knows this, but some of you might not know that as of Tuesday this week, Mandy has been the administrative assistant for Unity of the Hill Country for a year. And we're so grateful. You can all give her a little high hand applause. We're so grateful to have her with us. And we're so grateful that she's still here and that she's doing a great job. And she loves this community, and we know it and we feel it, and we appreciate her so much. Mandy?
Thank you, and good morning. It is Sunday, November 22nd, and the daily word is forgive. In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. If I hold on to feelings of hurt, betrayal, or anger in response to another person's words or actions, I block the flow of divine love and peace in my life. Likewise, holding on to guilt, shame, or embarrassment that may arise when I have hurt another person also keeps me from experiencing divine love and peace. Forgiveness removes all barriers, all obstacles, anything that may be disrupting my experience of the divine presence. In order to forgive myself or another person, I need to justify or approve behavior that is unwelcome. I need only to become willing to forgive. In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. I feel the healing power of divine love as it dissolves all barriers, all illusion of separation. I forgive and I am healed. And from Matthew 6:12, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors.
Thank you, Mandy. And next up, as you can hear him getting ready to perform for us, will be Mr. Harold Payne. Yay.
Good morning. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. We are part of something greater, something so much greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our soul. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be. We are all joined together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our souls. We are part of something greater, part of something greater than any one of us could ever be.
Thank you so much, Harold. That was beautiful. Perfect preparation for our time of meditation. So if you will, just in this moment, close your eyes and just allow the chair or sofa or wherever you're sitting at this moment, just allow that structure to support you completely. Allow your spine to be erect and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and slowly release that breath. And together, another deep breath in. And as you release that breath, just allow your attention and your focus to be in this moment and this time. Just noticing your breath as it's moving in and out of your body, rising and falling in your chest, or maybe all the way down to your belly. You can feel the breath moving through your body. Along with that breath, allow your attention to move deeper and deeper within, to the very center of you. This is our time to go within, to be still and know. We're so fortunate to have had so many prophets and way showers throughout the centuries. In particular, Jesus, who taught us love. Bringing our focus to love in this moment. Allow your heart center to be filled with that truth of your very being, the truth that you are love. You can put this love out into the world at any time, in any moment. Allow yourself to indulge in the pure essence of your being, the truth of the love that you are, as we spend a moment in the silence. Together, let's take another deep breath in. Pause at the top and slowly release. As we release that breath, we bring our attention back to this moment and this time, fully aware of the truth of our being, fully aware of the love you are in this world, in this moment. For this truth and so much more, we simply say thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Alleluia, 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 alleluia,
So our talks this month are centered on gratitude for. Last week it was gratitude for giving, for opportunities to give in this world in every possible way. I really liked that talk, and I'm not saying that to brag on myself, because the talk always comes through prayer and meditation. So it's not a talk that I personally am giving. It's a talk that I'm giving from that consciousness that we all share. So everything that I share with you each week is something you already know. And I promise you, you do. I might say it in a different way or express it in a certain way that makes it easier for you to kind of go, oh yeah, I've had that thought, or I know that that's how it works, or whatever, but you know everything I know. And so today, we're grateful for the awareness that you already know everything that you need to know. And today we'll just bring your attention and your focus to a few ways that we can express ourselves with greater awareness in the world. I like the dictionary, as you know, and awareness I pulled up a number of different definitions because they're all a little bit different on awareness. And from the Oxford Languages Dictionary, it's like knowledge or perception of a situation or a fact. So I found that very interesting because knowledge and perception sound like they're two different words, but your perception is always coloring what you believe is knowledge. What you think you know is 100% based on what your perception of the situation is. So that was really an important thing I wanted to bring out. It's also concern about concern about and well-informed interest. Like we have an awareness, we want to bring awareness to global warming. We want to bring awareness to whatever, fire prevention or whatever it is. We want to bring awareness. But again, that's your knowledge and perception, because somebody may think that everyone needs to have an awareness about something that they perceive to be a concern that other people don't have a concern about. And we see that all the time. And it's become more and more clear as we've had a little bit more political tension in our world. We see how clearly one situation, an experience that seems like it is so clear to some of us, others of us have the absolute opposite perception of it. And who's wrong and who's right? Everyone, both. I mean, it's all perception. It's a state or a condition of being aware and having knowledge or consciousness. So every week we talk about consciousness because it's where you place your attention. And as human beings, we have that authority over our mind to place our attention where we want it to go. So it's awareness can expand or contract depending on what we decide to do with our focus of attention. It's knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists. So it's, again, that allowing yourself to even be aware, because you can certainly block out all kinds of things and it seems like they don't exist just because you don't want to look at it. And we see that all the time. You think, oh, wow, people just really want to be oblivious. And I don't know that they do or they don't, but they have that authority as a human being. So awareness is very complex and layered, but I'm trying to simplify it for you a little bit today. And of course, I'm going to give you brain science because that simplifies everything, right? So the brain, as we typically talk about it, I'm not going to cover all these things, but we talk about that lower brain, that reptilian brain, which is all of the fight or flight, responses. So that's basically survival mode. It's that brain that the caveman had where he's always on alert. It's the one that makes you reactionary, that gives you all the triggers. And then we've also got the higher functioning brain of the prefrontal cortex. And so that's your reasoning. That's where we've talked before about how gratitude, when you have gratitude practices on an ongoing basis, this part of your brain lights up more. So you have more ability to solve problems and to learn new things. So you've got these two parts of the brain that you can choose, actually, where you want to spend more time connected in with. And we're going to talk about that today, how you can tell when someone is in fight or flight mode and coming from that lower brain, because they are more reactionary. They have emotions that are bigger and spewing all over the place. And then people who are calmer and more mindful of their world choose to have more relationship with that higher functioning part of the brain. It's not something that everyone even knows that they have a choice about, but you do. We all do. And I can tell you for my life, I definitely operated probably the first couple of decades from more of this lower brain. And then I began to become aware of meditation, which I've been doing for 40 years now. And it has helped me to move more of my focus. Doesn't mean I don't drop back down into reactionary and triggered. I've still got some triggers in there for sure, but I can become aware of what's happening in my body and my mind and my thoughts, and I can shift. And so today I'm going to share with you a few ways that you can do this. So I was researching and reading, and on Psychology Today, the one of the co-founders of an application that you can get on your smartphone or your tablet or whatever called Headspace, which is an application to help you become more mindful and aware. He says awareness, we are not what we do, what we say, what we think, or even what we feel. While these things may define our experience of life, they do not define who we are. Think about that. Most of us have spent a lot of our life thinking we are defined by how we feel. And we know people that we kind of define them by, oh, that's the angry neighbor, or that's the sweet somebody else, or we define people a lot of times that way, and we allow ourselves to be defined that way. But what he's saying is the mind is bigger than this. Life is bigger than this. There is something beyond thought, beyond feeling, beyond speech, and beyond action. It is a place of awareness. To train the mind is to witness this for ourselves. To witness this for ourselves is to find peace of mind. And that's what I wish for every one of you. And I know right now, during this time of isolation and, listening to the news and global pandemic, I mean, it's really important right now to be the owner of your mind, to take responsibility and to take charge and to make those choices that are better for you. In 2 Timothy from the Bible, 2 Timothy 1:7, it says, "For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline." And this is what awareness requires. It requires self-discipline from the moment we wake up in the morning. And so in another of my favorite websites, mindful.org, this team has written 5 simple mindful practices for your daily life. Mindful wake up. You start with a purpose. And they say intention refers to the underlying motivation for everything we think, say, or do. So what is your intention for the day? From the brain's perspective, we act in unintended ways. When we act in unintended ways, there's a disconnect between the faster unconscious impulses of the lower brain centers and the slower, more conscious and wise abilities of the higher centers, like the prefrontal cortex. So there's a disconnect between what you're feeling and then your assessment of it. Is there really a tiger chasing me right now, or do I just feel fear and frustration and whatever? Can I be mindful and choose my perception of what's really happening? So he says what they're advising is get up in the morning and either sit up in your bed or sit up in a chair that you may have designated a spot for. And on awakening, align your spine and then take deep breaths. Close your eyes. And just like we do when we begin a prayer or we begin a meditation, if you're a meditator, you're going to do this. already. But if you're not a meditator, which I know many of us are not on a regular daily basis, at least stop and take a few deep breaths and let your mind and your body connect. And they say 3 long, deep, nourishing ones. Start somewhere. Start with some kind of a way to connect both parts of that brain, and then set an intention for the day. How do I want to show up? What do I want to be? Do I want to be love? Do I want to be loved today? Yeah, I want to be love. And you're going to find ways. Once you claim that, the universe is going to offer you so many ways. Now, some of them might be more challenging. So you have really a good chance to choose love, but you have to accept that that's not the opposite. That's actually reinforcing your opportunity to have exactly what you want, to choose love over anything else. But set that intention for the day, and throughout the day, when you're feeling some disharmony, frustration, anger, whatever, check back and say, okay, how can I come back to that higher intention that I set for myself this morning? And eating is part of being mindful. Mindful eating is about understanding that the food that you put in your body is part of the nourishment. So right now I know that people are making a lot of jokes about the COVID-19, meaning 19 pounds that we've gained through COVID, because we're home more, we're not doing a lot of our usual activities, we're certainly not doing group exercise for the most part. And there's just an anxiety in the air that we're feeling that sometimes we interpret as hunger. And we have to be mindful to check in with ourselves. Wait a minute, am I just thirsty? Do I need to drink more water? That wasn't it. Well, let me have just a bite of something and see if that didn't seem to satisfy me. So maybe it's anxiety. And maybe going back to those deep breaths from the morning is a way to deal with it. But one thing they say about mindful eating and enjoying every mouthful, eating is one of the most pleasurable experiences we engage in as human beings, and doing it mindfully can turn eating into a far richer experience, satisfying not just the need for nourishment, but the more subtle senses and needs. When we bring our full attention to our bodies and what we are truly hungry for, we can nourish all our hungers. So sometimes a plate of beautiful vegetables like that, I usually try to put the rainbow on my plate as often as I can. And sometimes I just sit and admire it, and I allow my heart to open up just at looking at a plate of vegetables, because all of the colors, and when they're fresh, they're so vibrant. Yesterday I was at HEB and I found a stalk of Brussels sprouts. So the whole stalk and all the Brussels sprouts, and it's beautiful and artistic and creative and wonderful to look at. And I love Brussels sprouts. I don't know how you feel about them, but I love them. So I was so excited to get them because they're still on the stalk. So they're going to be so yummy. I just got them last night, so I haven't cooked them. But it's the having an experience with your food like that creates a deeper experience of eating, of feeding yourself. I'm feeding my soul by appreciating the creative way that Mother Nature provides us Brussels sprouts. And then when I prepare them in a loving way that will be nourishing my body. So we want to try to eat the rainbow. That I know it sometimes seems really satisfying to scarf down a whole bag of cookies in the moment. Me, I'm not so much a sugar person as I am a salty and crunchy. So chips or popcorn or something like that will be my little anxiety snack. But all that salt is horrible for your body. And those of us who are older, we know that, the salt is something we have to watch. But you also have to watch your sugar. And it's really important to take care and be mindful that food is not just something we shove in our face. It's a choice. And it is about mindfulness. So you can breathe before you eat. That will help you to slow down so you're not just scarfing it down mindlessly. And listen to your body. Are you truly hungry? Eat according to your hunger. Try the water first. Listen to what your body is saying. Are you really hungry? If you have a little bite to eat and you still have that feeling, it may be anxiety, then you need to do something to address that. Practice peaceful eating. Sit down, slow down, breathe, have an experience of your food. Now, for some of you, you might be laughing right now that she's being all woo-woo and silly, but I'm telling you, it is a much richer experience when you slow down. You can really, if you don't want to pray over your food, if you're not a blessing your food kind of person, you can just sit there and admire it. That is a blessing. That is a prayer, because that admiration, that appreciation for the farmers and the hands that prepared it and whoever brought it to the grocery store where you were able to get it, that puts a vibration out into the world. And if you don't love it, don't eat it. I love Brussels sprouts, but if you don't, I'm not going to insist that you eat them. I just think they're awesome. But eat what you enjoy. But if what you enjoy the most is sugar and salt, try to be mindful of the effects of those things and those choices on your body and on your consciousness. In Romans 12:2, we're told, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. So the will of God is not something that's happening outside of you. The will of God is what is the desire in your heart. All desire is placed in your heart by God, by that absolute good in the universe that wants you to live and fulfill the highest possible of your existence. So listen to that, renew your mind, slow down so you can pay attention to what's really going on, that you're not in that reactionary mode all the time. Take a breath, take a pause. That's the third one. They're talking about mindful pause to rewire your brain. Slow brain, and that's what they call this prefrontal cortex, where you have more calm and decision-making faculties. The slow brain, not slow as in not so smart, but slow as in calm and aware. Slow brain knows what is best. Fast brain is causing shortcuts through life. So, you know, when you're acting in a reactionary mode, if you're being triggered and you're saying things and you're doing things, if you find yourself apologizing a lot or feeling like you should, or other people think you should probably apologize a lot, chances are you're acting from this reptilian brain, this fast brain, as he calls it. Behavior design can trigger us to be mindful when we need it most. It's a way to put your slow brain in the driver's seat by slowing down the fast brain by putting obstacles in its way. And second, it's removing the obstacles in the path of the slow brain so it can gain control. So whenever you slow down, you've got to first be aware, right? You've got to first know, I'm being triggered a lot right now. I'm saying things I really don't like hearing myself say. I'm behaving in ways, I'm thinking things. Thoughts are things. Thoughts come out. People can feel your thoughts. So be mindful of how much of your time are you spending behaving from that fast brain that's reactionary, and how much are you slowing down and having a thought, but you can design your behavior so that you're less triggered and more making choices that may allow you to be your highest and best self. So one thing is breathing. She's doing a thing right here called alternate nostril breathing. If you've ever been in yoga class, you might have done this. Breathing, there's so many breathing techniques. And if you don't have a breathing practice, you can call me. I will sit down with you and teach you a few different ones. You can go on YouTube and find them all day long. I like Ujjayi breath, which is this kind of closing the back of your throat a little bit, as if you're saying, ha, but you're closing your lips. So it's the tip of your tongue falls right behind the front teeth, And when you do that, slow breathing with it, it's making that sound as if someone's falling asleep next to you. That is activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is married with this part of your brain. It's the rest and digest in your nervous system. It's calming you down. The sympathetic nervous system is that fast breath, that fight or flight. So if you want to wake yourself up in the morning, you can do some fast breathing. Bastrika is one that you can use, that it's like the yogic Starbucks, they say. Yogis can wake up and get their energy from the breath. Or you can slow down, which is right now probably more what many of us need than to be speeding up. But here are a few tips that they have for this mindful pause. If you say you want to get up and sit in a chair and do some breathing, put that chair right by your bed so you'll practically trip over it. If you put Post-it notes on your mirror, know that you need to change that out every once in a while, or move them around, or do a different color. Do something that changes that trigger that's to remind you, because we start getting used to that Post-it in the mirror and we just start looking around it to do our hair and whatever. We don't even see it after a while. But just create new patterns and new ways. Be aware of whether or not something you've put in place, it might work for the first day or two, and then you need to try something else. Just be mindful of the effects of the pauses that you're trying to put in place. And in this article, they say each intentional action to shift into mindfulness will strengthen your slow brain, your prefrontal cortex. You remember in some of the gratitude talks, we talked about how more gratitude practices lights up that prefrontal cortex, which is where you learn, where you get to make good decisions. And also mindful movement is really important. Right now, talking about what we're eating, we also need to be moving our body. The more we move our body, the less we have that urge to go and stuff our face. But they say, activate your mind and your muscles. You can move and breathe in a way that not only gets your blood pumping and invigorates every cell in your body, but also shifts you from feeling busy and distracted to feeling strong and capable. Yoga is a practice that does this. Tai Chi, Qigong, a lot of the practices where you slow down really put you in touch with that aspect of being physical, and you're also moving your energy. But if you're a runner or you're a fast walker, just know with intention, you are connecting your mind and your body. If sometimes when I walk, I'm really aware of my core. I'm just paying attention to how I'm tightening up the muscles through my back, and paying attention to how I'm walking and where I'm walking, and expanding it beyond just moving my feet. I'm having a broader experience. But you've got to get physical. As human beings, we know that, especially for us older women, we need to strengthen our muscles, because stronger muscles help our bones to be denser. And that's really important as we age. And we know that flexibility is important because it also helps us with our balance. So we need to do all these things because we're a whole universe right here within us. And it's important to know what your goal is. If you want to gain strength, or you want more flexibility, or both, probably I need to improve in both of those areas. But then there are also, they also give the warm up and all those details that, before you exercise, you always should warm up, and then you should cool down, and just challenge yourself a little bit to do a little bit more each day. When my nephew was here visiting recently, he's been doing specific kind of weight training, and he was sending me videos and videos and videos about these 4 specific moves to strengthen through, these 4 power moves is what they were, using weights. And I have some weights here at home, but not to the level where I would go up every day like he's talking about. But it's something that I have been doing because I appreciate that he was encouraging me. He wasn't saying, oh, you're looking like a mess. He's just saying, look, I'm getting a lot out of this, and I think you would really enjoy it too. And that's the way that we want to encourage one another and support one another. This is an image of a highway. My sister was telling me the other night she was leaving someone's house and it was after dark. She doesn't normally drive at dark, but it was foggy and she was nervous, but it cleared luckily very quickly. She was just in one particular area. But this can be unnerving, and that's the time that we really need to focus on mindful driving. Drive yourself calm, not drive yourself crazy. They say the snarliest traffic jam can provide an excellent opportunity to build your mindfulness muscle, increase your sense of connection to others, and restore some balance and perspective. That's not usually the experience you think of when getting in your car to drive, especially here in Kerrville after dark. You've got to watch for deer all the time. I'm nervous about what's, I don't like to drive after dark here just because of that, because coming right by on Bandera Highway, coming here to my house, there's a lot of access to the river. So there's a lot of wildlife. Oh my goodness, I'm running long. So this is an opportunity when you're driving. Set your intention before you get in the car. Know that you're going to be creating this opportunity. If someone comes and cuts you off, bless them. If your urge is from the reptilian brain and you feel like you want to curse them, take a deep breath and move it to the front of your brain, this higher brain, the slower brain, and send a blessing. And in blessing others, you bless yourself. There's no way around it. Take a deep breath. That's always the first step. Ask yourself, what do you need right in that moment? You need to feel safe. And you can feel safe by sending a blessing. And when you bless, it just expands and it changes the dynamic. The Buddha says, no one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. So I've covered a lot of mindfulness areas where you can really improve mindfulness in your life today. It's about walking the path. It's about choosing how you want to live your life and how you want to be in the world. And I know you can do it. So this week, choose mindfulness. Try the wake up practice, try eating mindfully, taking a pause, especially if you're starting to feel some feelings that don't feel like love. Move your body and bless your driving experience. I know you'll have a better week for it. Namaste. And now we get to hear some music by Harold, if he's not too impatient from us. We're running a little bit over time. Sorry about that.
No, it gives me more time to make up what I'm going to make up, which is, I don't know what's going to happen here, but my reptilian brain here. Okay. I'm just making this up on the spot here. When our reptilian brain starts pulling us into a reactionary state of mind, there's not always a saber-toothed tiger chasing us from behind. But we can slow down our fast brain, put the brakes on that fast train, and let our prefrontal cortex keep us sane. It's all about mindfulness and awareness, bringing good things to our lives. We are grateful for all they bring to our hearts and our minds. The gift of awareness, a spirit alive, feeling its presence, ever present inside. We wake up in the morning with purpose and intention, for that yogic Starbuck brain to carry the rest of the day to release our tension. It's all about mindfulness and awareness, bring good things to our lives. We to our hearts and our minds. And even if you don't like Brussels sprouts, you find the food and figure it out. Too much sugar or too much salt, it's not your fault, but you gotta be mindful and take the time to slow down your mind. Every one of us has choices to make. And not reacting to the fear is the best choice we can make. It's all about mindfulness and awareness, bringing good things to our lives. We are grateful for all they bring to our hearts and our mind. Yeah. And RevBev gave us some choices. We take our time before we lift our voices. And before we call out to someone in the next lane, while we're driving, it's easier to be thriving if we smile and hold up 2 fingers instead of one, and forget that reactive mind, and let your real heart and soul shine with mindfulness and awareness in everything we do.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Harold. That is just, you don't have to write those songs on the spot, but it just tickles me to death when you do. It just makes it punctuates everything I've said too. So thank you so much for that.
Well, thanks. That was totally in the moment.
I like it. I like it in the moment. I love the spontaneity, and it's just beautiful. So thank you so much. And all of us, I know everyone's feeling grateful, and we're just wanting to express our appreciation to everyone, as Jack pointed out earlier, who continues to support us. I know it's difficult just being an online community right now, and we're trying to offer a couple of little things outside as we can, as long as we can. But you know, your giving is important, and you can always give at unityhillcountry.org, or mail in your check, or drop it by on 1016 Jefferson Street. But thank you so much. It really means everything. And we'll bless those offerings, and even your prayers and thoughts, you know, dreams of when we get back together. We'll bless it all right now. It's divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. We send it forth with our blessings and our love. We close with a poem from James Dillett Freeman. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. So we'll see you next week, and we want you to have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. I canceled my plans to drive to Arkansas because of all the warnings against it. And hopefully whatever your plans are, you have plans to be safe most of all. But this is our community gathering time where we get to say, hello, hello. Let's see. Harold, this is a message to you from Kara Grant. She says, wow, how do you do that, Harold? What a gift.
I don't know how, the same way you do it.
Namaste, right?
Tap into spirit. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
that
it.
which moves through me moves through you.
Yeah.
And
tap into
everyone
it.
here.
Everybody.
Yes. Hi, Danny.
Thank you, Harold.
Oh,
Thank you all. I appreciate
Happy
being here.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Happy
take your
Thanksgiving,
moment and
everyone.
say, give your expressions of gratitude to Harold.
yes,
Sure, thank you.
That was so much fun.
Oh,
yes.
Make my day, Harold.
Thank you very much.
That was great. I really loved the way he put all the words in there. It was just perfect.
love I love
Somewhat-
the reference to two fingers rather than one.
Been there, done that.
I stole that from another song of mine, which I'll play sometime, called Positivity. So yes. And from
Yeah, I
the
was
real
driving
experience.
I'm always shocked that people do that. It's like, what? I was driving in Fredericksburg with my niece not long ago, and it's Fredericksburg is a touristy town, so people around, we were looking for a parking spot, so we weren't speeding through, and there was a guy behind, kind of driving close, but I didn't make a sudden stop, but she said, "Oh, he went around us and he flipped," and I was like, "Really? Why? I mean, it's like." We're tourists, just like, we're only from Kerrville, but we're still tourists. So anyway, I'm sorry, I was reading to see what other comments. Hi, Jane.
Hi, how are you?
We're in a different room from Jack. And Patsy, you made that comment about Ayurveda.
Yeah.
Yeah, food is medicine in Ayurveda, for sure. And
And
it
even
is.
the process of way you eat it as well.
Yes.
You're not supposed to talk. You're not supposed to read. You're not supposed to watch TV. You're supposed to
To your
be
food.
mindful of what you're eating while you're eating it and chew it completely.
Yes, yes. I'm
Good
glad you
digestion.
brought the distinction between perspective and knowledge. Because when you have knowledge of food, you kind of stand back and look at it and evaluate it. But if you have a perception or a perspective on it, you've participated in it and your evaluation is a whole lot different. You really want to eat some because it's good. So taste and see the Lord's good. Thank you, Harold, for that. Your perspective on those words and music, that was great.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I have to leave, but I just want to say that I look forward to seeing you all in person next year. My sister lives in Austin and Manchek, and so I hope to see you all in
Manchek.
person.
We'd love to see you.
I know
Yeah, we
where
look
that
forward
is.
to that too,
we
Harold.
love
Yes.
that.
Thank
That'll
you
be
so
awesome.
much.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I see
to
Hetty's
see-
out there and Judy
Oh.
too.
Good to see
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Mark and Gayleen. And we mentioned Kara earlier.
Hello.
Hello, how is everyone?
Beautiful day
Good.
out today.
Yes.
Yeah, as you can see,
Planning-
I'm outside enjoying the beautiful day.
Another Patsy on the porch.
Yeah, that's the place to be. Mandy's outside too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
outside here in a minute.
Everybody
Everybody
needs to
got-
go outside. It's
Yep.
beautiful.
Okay.
Fresh air and some exercise, move.
Yes.
You got your favorite, let's take a poll. What's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
Sweet potatoes.
Mm.
Yeah. Sweet potato chip.
Yeah.
There it is. My sister makes a mean scallop potato. It's really yummy.
Mm.
Ooh, that sounds good too.
Anything potatoes, I love.
Green
Yeah.
bean casserole was pretty good.
What now?
The green bean casserole.
Yep.
Yes.
I have an
Boy, that's
orange.
always good the
cran-
next day too.
Yeah.
I
What was
have an
that, Kara?
orange cranberry. I have an orange cranberry with walnut dish that I make that my husband really gobbles down
Mm.
Mindfully.
mindfully. Yeah.
With great perception.
Orange and cranberry go so well together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That citrusy.
Yeah, I make
and
a
that-
really good cranberry pie. It's like lemon meringue pie, but it's made with cranberries.
Ooh,
Delicious.
that sounds so good.
And it's
Ooh.
very
Mouth is
easy.
watering.
Very easy.
Well, get that recipe.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, enjoy the beautiful day and enjoy the week, whatever you decide to do with your time on Thanksgiving. And you know, you get a pass on mindful eating on Thanksgiving. You can still be mindful, even
Oh,
though you
yeah.
might eat too much, right? Mindfully eat more than you need to.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, namaste. I love you.
Namaste.
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 Happy
Good to
Thanksgiving,
see you
everybody.
all.
Good to see you.
Good to
Bye.
see you all.
Missing everybody.
Us too.
Virtual hugs.
Yes.
Virtual hug. Yes.
Mwah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.